All right. I'm Mr. Bigley. I'm here with Isaac from Contact Center Compliance. Isaac, tell everyone what you do.
Well, at Contact Center Compliance, I'm the Chief Product Officer. I've got a long history with Contact Center Compliance. I was a client at least 4 large global BPOs, and Contact Center Compliance, even though the companies I was at was different, my compliance provider was always CCC, DNC.com. They helped me stay compliant, helped me minimize my risk from getting sued, and it was fantastic.
Let's take a step back.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume that everyone listening to this, not all of them know what DNC.com is, right?
Okay.
So why don't you just take a step back and kind of explain briefly what DNC.com is and what you guys do at a high level in 30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to help you connect with the right customers you're legally allowed to call, customers you want to call, not litigants. And then once we've helped you clean your list by checking for those things, reassignment, the whole 9 yards, we then help you improve your connection rates by removing erroneous spam labels on your caller ID and even branding your caller ID.
All right. So you can help with my spam likely problems?
Absolutely. If you're a good guy.
Yeah.
And that's the key, is if you're a good guy. And I know you, and I know that you do not help the bad guys that are out there, and that's what's critical.
Good guy. What's a bad guy and what's a good guy to you?
So it's a wide scale. A bad guy can be anything from that person who's trying to do an ACA scam to simply those people who don't care what the rules are, and they're just going to flagrantly call whoever they want. You could also get the more gray area people who are not really careful about consumer desires, and they're just dialing 3 times in 15 minutes to try to get that person to answer the phone. Those are the people, other than giving you advice on how to be more compliant, we can't help. But if you're trying to engage with your customers, or you had a prospect fill out a lead form and you're calling them, let's say, 3 times a day over a short period of time, there's nothing wrong with that, provided it's not one of the states that limits you to less than 3.
What states limit you to less than 3?
Off the top of my head, I want to say Texas is one of them. We have a compliance guide that outlines all of this very clearly.
I know Florida's 3 times in 24
Florida's
hours.
3 in 24 hours. So the states vary. Some of them will do 3 in 24 hours. Some will do 1 every 8 hours. There's a couple of states that do 1 a day. Others have absolutely no rules. But beyond the state laws, the carriers and their analytics companies have created their own rules. And those are what are enforced by them more heavily than the federal laws.
So I'm a little confused. How do you help me stay compliant with all those rules?
Well,
it sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot, but it's really not that bad. So we've got a few tools. One is our compliance guide, helps you learn all about what the latest rules are. We do blog posts, webinars to help people keep up to date. From a technology perspective, which is our core focus, we can integrate with your platform to scrub your lists before you dial as often as you want to see if that number's been reassigned. Is it on a do not call list, or is it one of these serial litigants who's just hoping and praying that you call them so they can try to find something wrong with that interaction and sue you?
I love those guys.
We scrub all that. Oh, they're fantastic.
All right. So I'd like to learn a little bit more about you. So, you said you were working at BPOs. You're in this industry for a long time. Now, how did you get over to DNC.com? How did you find your way there, and what do you actually do at DNC?
Well, it's funny because I've known about the company forever, and I didn't know a lot about the inside of it because I had one sales rep for 20 some odd years in the call center world, so I figured he was the company. And
you're the same sales rep for 20 years?
Yeah, you never hear about that. They've either got to be really bad or it's got to be a fantastic company. It turns out it's a fantastic company. So I found out it wasn't just him. It was a team of many salespeople. There was a huge crew behind it all, powering the technology. And when there was an opportunity for Chief Product Officer, I said, you know what? Let me go over to the service side. Instead of being in the call center, let me help the call centers do better and help them make their lives easier.
What's coming next?
Oh, wow. So we are about to release a new change to caller ID. So with the FCC is really interested in looking at rich call display, which takes branding from where it is today on caller ID and takes it to the next level with authentication, with logo display, and we're going to have something released like that soon. We've also rolled out our AI functionality for integrations with platforms and AI bots so that you can communicate with our servers to scrub your leads and check whether or not you should call someone in a fashion that is more friendly to AI bots than, say, an old school API is.
Yeah, everyone needs to make their system fully interactive with AI.
Yes.
If you don't have an MCP right now or CLI access to your software,
exactly,
you're behind. We're actually a little behind. We're building that out right now. So
Well, it's funny you bring up CLI though, because the way AI is moving right now, there is a split. Is CLI the next path, or is MCP the next path? So we're supporting both. MCP isn't talked about as much. I think a lot of people are hoping it ends up being CLI, but there is a heavy push. So we're supporting both because we know that the industry is moving towards AI. We want to be there to help them do it in a legally compliant and safe fashion.
Yeah, my opinion is that people aren't going to set up software anymore in the next couple of years.
No.
You're going to tell Claude or Gemini or Grok or, ChatGPT or whatever your flavor of choice is to set things up for you, and the AI is going to do it.
Absolutely.
And if your system doesn't allow the AI to talk to it,
right,
they're just going to use another system.
Yeah, it's fantastic. When the CTO was showing me this, and I was trying to wrap my head around the new concept of MCP, I'm like, okay, I get the technology because I'm a technologist, but how is this really different from API? He said, let me show you. So he goes into Claude Code, and he gives it an instruction of what to do, and you watch code having a conversation in AI speak with my servers, getting the feedback that it needs so it can make intelligent decisions about what to do next with that lead that just came in. So it's a phenomenal way of looking at it. It's kind of like if you ever use Claude inside of Excel and you can watch how it thinks, you could see something very similar with how your MCPs can interact with your code.
From a regulatory environment, what should people be watching out for this year? What trends are you seeing?
Oh, so, I think everybody should get involved with some of the trade groups that are out there, like Reach and IMC.
We're a Reach member.
Yes, and as are we. I mean, Reach is going to be filing comments with the FCC, where they are trying to take action right now to cut down on the bad actors that are out there. I think their heart is in the right place. They want to help consumers stop feeling all this pain. But
the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
It absolutely is. I think their approach on a few things is a bit, I'm not going to say short-sighted, but ill-informed. So they want to try to cut back on foreign call center usage. They want to cut back on phone number abilities.
I'm all about cutting back on foreign call center usage. I mean, we had that meeting, I think it was at your conference, I sat next to the director of enforcement at the FCC at dinner one night, and he said, all the fraud is coming out of these foreign call centers. All the fraud is coming from offshore, almost all the fraud.
Sure.
And I agree with that. So why shouldn't we eliminate them?
Well, so at my last company, I had 45,000 call center agents across 13 countries doing business in 39 languages. It's very hard to find a strong team of people that speak, say, Farsi in the United States that are willing to work in the same call center. When you move into certain
not with
labor
AI,
markets,
it's not.
Well, not with AI, but not everybody wants to talk to AI. You look at the Spanish-speaking population. A lot of times you could find a lot of Spanish speakers here in the U.S., but a Spanish speaker in, say, El Salvador is a very different Spanish speaker than someone in, say, Southeast Texas. So there are certain benefits. Now, from a cost perspective, though, that's where it becomes incredibly important, because I can have a call center in South Africa with agents at $5 an hour who have a very clean accent, and I can have agents in the United States with a heavy Southern accent that I'm paying $40 an hour for. So there's not necessarily that benefit of being in the U.S. The other side of this is, while yes, I agree about these bad actors, there's tons of good actors that are in these foreign countries as well, like the Philippines and India, South Africa, El Salvador, Egypt, Pakistan.
Yeah. So Trump's going to hate you.
Well, I am a military veteran. I guess I shouldn't talk politics on camera, but I will say that I believe in American jobs. But I also believe in the free market making the decision on where those jobs should be. I would rather see the government offer incentives to bring those jobs back here than anything else. If I'm a BPO or if I'm a vendor and I'm trying to support an agent in California where the minimum wage is like $20 an hour.
Oh, you're just going to use AI. You're just going to use AI.
Yeah, I mean, unless that becomes illegal, and then what?
Well, that's why I'm a member of Reach.
Exactly.
I mean, people want a good experience.
They absolutely do.
People want a smooth, good experience, and the bar is set so low in the call center place. And we hear a lot of calls. Boy, some of them are rough.
Well, see, but that's a key. When you've got good AI, when you have an intelligent AI system, you don't become part of the problem. You become part of the solution.
100%.
And that's what people have to lean into. The threats to us about AI right now and AI agents are because of poor consumer experience. Not all AI bots are built equally. So when you've got a good AI system, that makes a big difference for your consumer. So make sure you're using it in an ethical and responsible way to where you're enhancing the consumer experience, not degrading it.
100%. 100%. I mean, in my view, if we look out a year or two, the AI should be if implemented well, pretty much flawless. We already have the latency flawless. We can do any amount of calls that we want. Obviously, we need the legal justification, and you want the consumer to be interested.
Absolutely.
And if someone comes to us with bad data, we know pretty much immediately, on our platform. We'll see it, and we'll be like, your conversion rate is terrible. But those campaigns don't back out anyway. I mean,
exactly.
It's if you're 1 out of 5,000 people's interested in what you're selling, those campaigns don't back out. When I see good compliant data coming through, 2 out of every 3 people we talk to, half the people we talk to are turning into a live transfer. So
absolutely, but that's why the AI that is part of the solution is so much different. When you've got these platforms where the platform themselves is being responsible about the traffic they're allowing on the system, they're creating a safer ecosystem for the usage and advancement of this technology. And you brought up Trump, and again, I'm not going to get into politics. You could say what you want to say about the foreign call centers, and I don't mean that one way or another. I just try to stay neutral since I'm wearing the company's logo. Trump is very big on AI. Trump does not want us to lose the AI race, and I think that
we can't lose the AI race.
We can't.
We
Absolutely
can't lose the
not.
AI race.
We will be crushed as a world power if that happens. So allowing effective usage in the phone channel, I think, is vital to the survival of our economy. It just depends, and this goes back to your question you asked me, what should people be looking out for? I think that's it, is a poor or an unethical or irresponsible usage of AI. You need to use AI responsibly, and you need to help drive it towards a better future.
What have you seen on the legal side? Just for people who don't know, maybe you're running a call center. You're like, that TCPA thing isn't really for me. I only got 10 reps. What are you seeing on the legal side with companies big and small?
From an AI perspective or just in general?
Just from a TCPA perspective.
From a TCPA perspective, I think some people think they're too small to get noticed, or they miss some of the steps. Like they say, I've got consent on every record. But what they don't realize is that sometimes records come in that, for whatever reason, have the phone number of somebody who has made 80,000, maybe not 80,000, but 80 TCPA lawsuits within the last 100 days and never wanted to get any telemarketing calls. But somehow you got a lead form with their number. So are you doing proper hygiene where you're saying, I've always got consent? Well, if that person is someone who historically doesn't like interacting with people, you need to question your consent. So are you checking for right party ID where the name and number matches? Are you checking to see if they're a litigant?
How do you check for right party ID to see the name and number actually match?
Oh, we partner with different sources where we send them a name and phone number on record, and they give us a confidence score of how likely, based on public record, those two are to match. Now, it's not an exact science, but they give you back a risk score. So as a business, you have to decide, how much risk am I willing to take? Am I willing to do anything? It's a 20% confident rating. I'm risk averse. I would say no. But if it's 80% confident and that's your bar, then that's great. That will affect your lead flow, but it'll also affect your litigation.
Yeah, I know a huge number of the TCPA lawsuits that have gone forward recently have been wrong number lawsuits.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think it was 18 or 20 that, when I was seeing the stats, I mean, it was a huge amount. So.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest fronts for it is reassigned numbers. It's very easy to determine that. We are one of the largest providers of reassigned number checks there is. So we help customers every day with that. I was on an FCC oversight committee on that topic, and when we got our data, we were seeing that an average of 1 million phone numbers. So that's a 7-digit number, 1 million every day we're changing hands. Wow. A lot of liability for wrong number claims.
A lot of liability. All right, I think we got to wrap it up here. Give us a final note. Give us something you want to leave on.
So, hey, it's not hard to be compliant if you work with the right companies. Make sure every technology provider, whether it is your compliance organization or technology you're using to interact with your consumers, is compliant, is responsible, and you should be good to go.
And I want to say that I work with Isaac and his team. I love DNC.com. I love what they do. I love the reps over there. They're great to work with. They're very helpful. So I would highly recommend them as a company.
Well, from a compliance perspective, I could say that your usage is very unique, and not a lot of people take the steps you do, where you monitor your traffic and you.
No one else is doing that on the AI side.
No
one else is doing it.
You are doing a lot more due diligence, from what I have seen, than any of your competitors. So I applaud you for that, and I think this is what every platform out there really needs to be doing, is taking this compliance-based approach. not only is he protecting his business, but he's adding another layer of insulation to his customers, and that's just outstanding.
And protecting the industry at large.
Absolutely. We appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
This was wonderful.
Appreciate it.
Great job, guys. Thank you.
All right. What are your thoughts? First one of the day.
That was great.
Do I need to pick it up or do anything different?
I have